So I'm going to read for you because what I want to say is very, very important to me. And I want to do it the right way. Thank you. Okay. So, as I was saying, you walk down the street and you see bullet holes beside neon lights, a church next to a nightclub, an old man roasting corn while a teenager films him on an iPhone. That's Beirut, a city of contradictions, of chaos and creation. And I believe the future of cinema will look a lot like this city, because just like Beirut, film is being rebuilt from its own ruins. A new form is emerging. Now, cinema is having an identity crisis. Hollywood repeats itself. Streaming platforms flood with sameness. Algorithms have become our new directors. We scroll endlessly, consuming more moving images in a day than our grandparents did in a lifetime. And somehow we feel less. So how do we bring feeling back to film? Well, maybe by learning from the city that refuses to die. Beirut doesn't wait for permission. It rises from its own chaos again and again, and that's exactly what cinema needs to do. And Beirut isn't polished or predictable, but it's alive. It's a living structure, constantly under construction, physically, emotionally, culturally. Every generation rebuilds it in its own rhythm, and that act of rebuilding becomes its identity. That's what the new structure of cinema looks like to me. Raw, unstable, full of contradictions, but always evolving. Because in Beirut, creativity doesn't come from comfort, it comes from necessity. Here, filmmaking, as I said, is a survival art. You shoot with whatever you have, a phone, an old lens, a friend holding the boom. When the power cuts mid-scene, you light it with candles and keep going. And somehow it works because it's real. I experienced that myself when I wrote and directed a short film called 175, a docu-fiction about, sorry, excuse me for 1 second. And you've seen everything today with me. It's a new experience of TED Talks. Maybe they will learn from me, like we'll call it TEDx plus. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, where was I? So yeah, I was talking about 175, a docu-fiction that tells the story of the firefighters that perished in the Beirut port explosion. We shot the movie entirely on an iPhone. Not because it was trendy or experimental, but because we had no time, no money, and no other choice. But that limitation became our strength. The iPhone gave the film a rawness, a sense of true reality that no expensive camera could have captured. It blurred the lines between documentary and fiction, between truth and storytelling. And that's what I mean when I say creation comes from necessity. When everything else is stripped away, the budget, the gear, the safety nets, what's left is pure intention. That's the same spirit I wanted to capture in my feature film, BornStars. Because BornStars isn't just about people chasing a ludicrous idea. It's about the power of making something out of nothing. So BornStars is about youth, about finding your voice in a world that keeps muting you. I didn't want to make something traditional. I wanted the form itself to carry meaning. So I split the film in two. The first half lived online, computer cameras, DMs, live streams, fast, fragmented, hyper-connected. Then halfway through, everything shifts. The pace slows, the light softens, we step out of the screen and back into the real world. It's shot on traditional lenses, heavier cameras, and warmer tone. I even used technique reminiscent of early cinema. Static camera, long take, and deliberate mechanical approach to remind people what permanence used to feel like before everything became swipeable, temporary. So BornStars isn't a linear film, it's hybrid. And that hybridity, digital and analog, speed and slowness, chaos and order, that's what I think the emerging structure of cinema is. It's where cinema is heading. Now, for centuries, cinema was author-driven. One director, one vision. Then came the internet, and storytelling became audience-driven. Now, we're entering a new era, hybrid cinema. But Beirut has been hybrid for decades. East and West, faith and rebellion, destruction and beauty. Cinema's next structure will be just like that, built from contradiction, powered by authenticity. But I'll be honest, I'm a defender of the pure cinematic experience. The dark theater, collective silence, the sound surrounding you, that's sacred to me. But defending cinema doesn't mean resisting change. It means adapting to it. The live stream, the TikTok, the chaotic feed, they're not the enemy. They're extensions of the same human impulse to connect, to feel, and to be seen. So yes, I'll always protect the big scene, but I'll also celebrate the phone screen. Both belong to the same evolving language of film. And we've all heard this before. Cinema has been declared dead so many times, with sound, with color, with television, with streaming, and now with AI. But every death has been a rebirth. Each time, something new and unpredictable emerges, just like Beirut. So the future of film will belong to the storytellers who blur mediums, mix chaos and courage, and put humanity first. Now, picture this. It's dawn in Beirut. A man rebuilds his shop again as his grandson films him on a phone. In that single frame, you have destruction and creation, analog labor and digital gaze, past and future together. Cinema isn't dying, it's being rebuilt by us, by you, by anyone brave enough to mix the old with the new. Because when you've lost everything, what's left is pure creation. And that's why the future of film might just look a lot like Beirut. Thank you. Thank you so much.